Hi, here's Michael Leander. I'm in Nairobi, Kenya at the Stanley Hotel, and I'm here with somebody really interesting. I've spent so far 3.5 days with him. He's responsible for marketing and sales in large organization. He's a true Kenyan and a very nice guy, but he's also very smart. So listen here to what he has to say about marketing, retail, and tourism in Kenya. Hello, Daniel. Could you start by telling us who you are and what you do?
Yeah, my name's Daniel Koech. I'm the country's sales and marketing manager for Nairobi Bottlers, Kenya. It's one of the biggest bottlers in Kenya. It accounts for 50% of the country volume, while you have the rest four other bottlers within the country, accounting for the balance of the volume.
And what is one of your best known products?
Top of mind, Coca Cola.
Yeah, okay.
I work for Coke, and I sell one of the best brands. My favorite brand is brand Coca Cola.
Coca Cola.
And I love it every day.
Me too.
And I love pushing it and selling it out there. I
Yeah.
hope you do,
Yeah.
and you do enjoy brand Coke. You too.
Absolutely. So, and that is in Kenya, right?
Yes, that's in Kenya. Kenya, just to give you Kenya in perspective, Kenya is becoming one of the biggest hubs within East African countries, where if you really want to make an entry in East Africa, then you really must start with Kenya and expand outside of Kenya. Kenya has a population of 47 million people and growing at the rate of 3.4% on population growth, with a GDP, estimated GDP of 6% by end of 2016. Yeah, and allow me to pause there. You led it fast. Okay.
And if you look at marketing in Kenya, how do you view what's going on in the marketing sphere in Kenya when compared to the rest of the world, or specifically to the rest of Africa?
I think when I look at Kenya from a marketing point of view, there's quite a lot of we have good brains in Kenya in terms of marketeers to start with. And when you see, and that will be seen by the quite a lot of innovations that is homegrown coming out of Kenya. When I look at what Coke is doing from an innovation point of view, their advertising, their communication, both above the line and below the line, is quite a lot of innovation in going into that direction. When I look at other brands like Safaricom, Unilever, there's quite a lot of innovation that all these corporates are doing. Banks coming in a lot with quite a lot of innovation, again coming in there. So when I look at the group and the brands within Kenya from a marketing point of view, I think we have good marketers, and of course we still have opportunity to learn from out there, what is out there, but I think we have good brains in Kenya.
So you're responsible for both sales and marketing, and I understand you have a team of about 500 people. So have you managed to get sales and marketing to work very closely together with joint metrics and stuff like that, or is that still a challenge?
Very interesting. We've done quite a lot along along sales and marketing, and I must say, before in my previous roles, we used to be separate. We used to be marketing on its own, and then we have the sales team on their own. And there was always this constant health fight between the marketing team and sales team. But at some point, that tension is good and healthy. But to make things work faster, organizations where we have sales and marketing under one umbrella, head by one person or one commercial, who understands both, who've been very good, strong in marketing, and now strong in sales, can really quickly make things work faster. And I think many organizations are structured that way.
Very good. And if you look at the retail sector in Kenya specifically, how is that evolving now? What's happening? and how are you addressing those changes within the retail channel?
Very interesting. I think when you see the retail industry, there's quite a lot of innovation and evolution that is happening within the retail. And to start with, I think it's one of the sectors that is really contributing quite a lot to the economy of Kenya. That is the retail and the wholesale business. So having said that, you will again see there is quite a lot that is happening within the retail. So many global brands and retail chains wanting to have a piece of a pie within Kenya and the East African market. Recently, we've had big chains like Carrefour coming into Kenya. We have quite a lot of QSRs coming into Kenya. We've seen Pizza Hut, we've seen Burger King also making inroads. We've seen News Cafe from South Africa, a lot of chains coming from South Africa into Kenya, and News Cafe, Ocean Basket. We've seen again the same thing happening within the hotel industry. We have Radisson now opening. We have Dusit 2 in Kenya. So there's that opportunity. It's a ripe market and everyone wants to have a pie within Kenya. So retail is growing at a very fast rate within Kenya and doing a lot. We are seeing also government having a vision of 2020 vision where they want to have an anchor chains and they are looking at one of the chains to be supported to really to be a center of excellence and supporting that arm of retail, so that the government sets the example as while the private owned businesses also supporting and being the anchor.
Very good. So just one last question. Tourism in Kenya has been decreasing. What does Kenya need to do to attract more tourists?
I think Kenya has gone through a lot, and I think what impacted a lot of the tourism sector a bit was last year when we had all these insecurity issues, which has been ably been addressed by government. Today, we've seen really good security. We've seen a lot of investment going along that direction to create a safe and a good environment where tourists can enjoy, they can come and have walk both day and night without worrying. And we are seeing also both government doing a lot of efforts working with private sectors, coming together to see how can they work as one team to be able to sell Kenya both locally and outside of Kenya. The government has introduced incentives. If you travel, if you tour locally, you have incentive reliefs that you can get from a taxation point of view. We are also seeing the private sector, led by the Kenya Association of Hotel and Keepers, really bringing in both private and public institutions within the tourism sector to come and discuss how can we better market Kenya. We are also seeing the government putting a lot of efforts within the tourism. We have a new minister who is really focused in driving tourism, and a lot of funds also have been channeled into the tourism to sell Kenya outside. We've had a lot of international convention happening where Kenya is being sold out there as a brand, as a destination. And of course, what we normally Kenya is known with athletes, and we are doing quite a lot out there. We are also in sports, rugby doing very well. Our volleyball girls are doing very well, excelling out there. I think these are brands that really positions Kenya very well. And of course, we have, I think Kenya is the only country where in less than 5 kilometers, we have a wildlife orphanage where you can see the big five just next to the city in less than 5 kilometers. When you look at the climate, when you look at the temperatures, when you look at what Kenya is, you can enjoy both sides. You have one of the fantastic climate and the environment you can visit, and friendly people above all. They are very welcoming. And you will see when you just land at the airport, they are just welcoming you, telling you, you know, Kenya, a land of happiness, hakuna matata, karibu Kenya. Yeah, so even you, I'm welcoming you, karibu Kenya, and tour Kenya, and many others out there. Kenya has a lot to offer.
Oh, thank you so much.
To East Africa, Africa, and the world.
That was well said. Thank you so much, Daniel.
Most welcome. I hope